Good afternoon and welcome to the League 2 of the GrTwodays Championship with the Ultimate Racing League. Again, we are here at the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg in Austria, and the League 2 guys will now be taking on this legendary racetrack that has played host to many a Formula One Grand Prix over the years. We are a little bit light on the grid. It looks like quite a few of the drivers have had either car issues or issues getting into the country, various different problems, but we only have just the 7 cars on the grid for this race. It could mean that it could be a very close race between the guys. It could mean that it could be quite spread out, but we'll see how things go and see what these guys have to offer. Just talk you down through the grid after qualifying session. So we have HKRT Damien on pole, your current championship leader as well. We have SRT Sue in second place on the grid, HKRT Paris in third, flying the flag for the Greeks, and in fourth we have MST Shadow. In fifth we have another return for Hoyland in the Castrol Racing NSX, and in sixth we've got Vane with Pablo Jr. at the back in 7th. So let's get this race underway, shall we? As the lights go out and Damien takes us down towards the first corner of this 38-lap race. All 7 cars in a line heading down into the first apex, and it looked like Paris there was having a little look to get the move done. MST Shadow has got past Paris on the exit and has moved up into 3rd place, with Paris dropping to 4th. Hoyland now coming up the outside of Paris. Yeah, he's on the inside of the fast left-hander as they come into the braking zone for the right-hander. Hoyland looking to hold on, but Paris has managed to keep on that position. But has he? Hoyland hanging it around the outside with Paris on the inside as they go neck and neck track race all the way down to turn 3. And now into the braking area, Hoyland on the outside. Paris looking to move up the inside, but he dives in behind Hoyland and keeps it tight in behind. With Vane now looking to have a move on Paris. Paris having a nightmare first lap and is just going backwards. As we come round towards the halfway point of lap 1, HKRT Paris has got Vane for company. Vane all over the back of him. Is he going to make a move down? Is Paris going to lose another place before the end of this lap? It looks like Paris has got this one held on as they head round the final 2 turns into onto the start-finish straight to begin lap 2 of this 38-lap race. Damien looks to settle down nice and early on in this race and starting to create a bit of a gap. A fair few car lengths appearing between him and Sue in 2nd place, with Shadow there in 3rd looking to move up, but Hoyland is keeping him company in 4th place. Great to see Hoyland with some pace in that car now as he goes wide. Commentator's curse there. I think he may well pick up a penalty for that, unfortunately, or is he going to get away with it? No, he does get away with it. That's good stuff. So, yeah, as I was saying, great stuff to see Hoyland getting some pace now. Early on in this season, he had a bit of a wobble. He missed a couple of races. I think he got inside his own head. He was dropping back in races, and he just kept plucking away, kept getting the laps in, kept getting that experience under his belt. And look now, he's battling with these guys that a few weeks back he would have been even being lapped by in some cases. So really good stuff from Hoyland. Great to see. Well done to you. And Paris then in 5th, trying not to drop back, with Pablo Jr. giving Vane a few problems from the back of the grid. Obviously, with only 7 drivers on the grid, there is the opportunity for a good chunk of points no matter where you finish, as long as you, of course, actually finish. As Pablo now moves to the inside of Vane on the run-up into turn 1. He keeps that tight on the inside, but he does have to yield the position to yield the attack to Vane, so Vane holds on to 6th place, with Pablo staying in 7th. He's not quite close enough there, as we got some tyre squeal going on up in front. Hopefully we haven't lost any. Oh, we have Pablo. We moved away from Pablo. Tyre squeal happening up in front. And it looks like Pablo's lost it on the entrance into turn 2. Oh, he just outbraked himself, nearly rear-ended Vane, managed to bail, and then just decided, oh, you know what, I'm going to do a couple of donuts before I get on my way back after Vane. So Pablo giving himself a little bit of work to do, but giving the crowd a good bit of entertainment to watch as he pirouettes on the spot there and back down on the way on in lap 3, chasing back down Vane. Back up to see if there's anything going on with Paris. Paris is after losing those early spots, he's settled down and he's just keeping his position. Hoyland now putting Shadow under pressure. So is Hoyland going to make his move and try and take this podium, the 3rd spot on the podium early on in the race? He's then got to hold on to it though. So what can he do from here? He's tucked right in behind underneath that rear wing of MST Shadow. Is he going to make a move on the inside into turn 1? No, not quite close enough. He's hard on the brakes. Oh, I think there may have been contact there. Just have a little look. Might have just outbraked himself a little bit. Let's go to the bonnet cam of Hoyland. Yeah, it was a little bit of contact. Well, a little bit. Gave him a good shove, he did, but MST Shadow has kept his composure and kept on up the road, and Hoyland now just dropping back a little bit as a result of that contact, and that's going to give Paris the impetus there to put the pressure on Hoyland after losing his paces early on. As Vane, you can see there, has got a half-second time penalty. Paris goes deep, and now we go from talking about Paris getting on a move on Hoyland is now going to be defending against Vane, at least until the penalty line. Paris dives to the outside of the line and then in on the apex, with Vane keeping it tidy on the middle part of that corner as they head towards the exit. Paris just managing to stretch a few car lengths as they now come round these left-handers in towards the penalty zone. So it doesn't look like Paris is going to hold on to that place, even though he made the mistake. So Vane will now serve his half-second time penalty. The half-second time penalty around here doesn't cost you as much as it does at some tracks. Despite being on a straight, the area after the time penalty is really short before you hit a braking zone, which kind of nullifies the hefty impact that you do see across some of the other tracks in motorsport, to be honest, where the half-second time penalty can end up costing you over a second of lap time as the race wears on. So this one isn't too bad, as I just spotted up in front Hoyland having another look at Shadow. We'll just go up and move up and have a look and see how these guys are getting on as they move down in towards turn 3. Hoyland having another look. Is he going to have a lunge down the inside? No, he's going to hold station there, keep his place and tuck in behind Shadow as we move around towards the left-handers. He's not quite close enough to make a move this time round. Will he get underneath the rear wing on the start-finish straight and have a chance of a move down into turn 1? We'll see. As you can see, Damien and Sue just clearing off out in front now in first and second position. You see on the little mini-map they've created one out of a gap, considering we're only just starting lap 6 of this 38-lap race. So Hoyland in the slipstream, not quite close enough there to have a look. Good exit there from Hoyland, a bit twitchy, but he's managed to get that power down, and he's still got a bit of slipstream going up towards turn 2. One of the shortest circuits, shortest real life circuits on the game is the Red Bull Ring, so these laps do fly by. There's not many corners around this track. You've got, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 corners, 8 or 9 if you include the left-hand, sort of fast left-handers leading into this central part of the track. So not many corners to do battle on. A bit more of a go-kart track, but it does really suit these cars, to be honest, as they've got a lot of mechanical grip and they do change direction really quickly. So you can get some real fast lap times out of these guys, out of these cars around this circuit, and it's a lot of fun to drive, it really is. So Vane in 6th and Pablo in 7th. Pablo not being able to pull back that gap on Vane as of yet. Go up and see how the leaders are doing. So Damien in 1st place on the medium compound tyres, just starting lap 7 now and heading on up to turn 2. Looking good with his consistency on the lap times and looking to go faster again, with Stu in 2nd. Again, good consistency there on the lap times, holding his position, keeping Damien honest, but really good gap for Damien, but not enough for him to really switch off and coast home. So Stu staying with him. They're both on the medium compound tyres, as you can see, and it does look like Stu is saving a little bit more fuel, so that could pay dividends come the end of stint 1 when they dive into the pits. And the refueling rate on this season really does reward fuel savings, so we'll see if Stu does benefit from that. As MST, Shadow, Hoyland and Paris all within a sort of corners length of each other, all looking at each other's rear ends, wondering who is going to make a mistake or can I make a move on them, etc., as they look to avoid a penalty there, because that was really close to being all on the green stuff for Hoyland there, but he looks like he got away with it, but Paris didn't. Paris obviously breaching the track limits there and picking up a half-second time penalty as we head off into lap 8 with Vane there in 6th, having a bit of a lonely race, although it does look like Pablo is gradually clawing that space back. He is on the soft tyres, Vane on the mediums, Hoyland also on the soft tyres, so you'd expect Hoyland to be putting pressure. Oh, we've missed that. So despite having a half-second time penalty, it looks like Paris has made a move on Hoyland, so we must have moved away just as that was happening. But did Hoyland make a mistake? He did, so Hoyland got... Oh, what a save that is from Hoyland. Great save from Hoyland there into turn 1. Normally, as we saw with, I think it was Fitzy in League 1, one of the top guys from the URL Sunday League, Fitzy, and he ended up pointing the wrong direction on the exit of that corner. Enzo Jack did something similar in turn 2, another of the pro split Sunday League guys, and Hoyland there has got oversteer around turn 1 and managed to save it and keep going, and he's back on up the road after Paris, and if he can get close enough he's going to get that place back, because Paris has got to serve that half-second time penalty. So this could be interesting, and well, Hoyland's made a mistake, but he's not he's managed to rescue some pace from it, so let's see how this pans out as they head towards the penalty line. Paris now serving his penalty. Hoyland going to be chasing him down. Oh, he's not quite closed that up. I think he might have made a mistake on the exit before the penalty line, to be honest. I thought he'd be much closer than he is there, so really unfortunate, but he can still get his head down and get back after Paris there, so not too much lost for him. Shadow having a bit of a lonely race now after that mistake from Hoyland, but still holding on to that 3rd spot on the podium. Vane with a 1 second time penalty. Pablo closing right up on Vane now, really getting close. Now this is where the time penalty of a second is where you then start to see some real impact, because with a half second you drop that half second, the pace comes down, but on a straight it's kind of like a blip of time and it's done, but a second leaves you dropping a lot more speed, and then you've got to try and get that speed back up and running to avoid losing any more time. So you do tend to find that as the penalties increase, the proportion of time you lose is much greater. Now Vane serves that penalty, and as you can see, Pablo now with the momentum looking up the inside, And he does. He dives up the inside of Vane with all that momentum. Side by side into the final turn of the lap. And it does look like Pablo managed to get that done. And he has, but Vane is coming back after him. The Vane is now back after him. Pablo got the move done with that momentum, but Vane is not giving up easy. Under braking into turn 1. And Vane is having to yield that position. Really unlucky from Vane. I thought he was going to hold on to that place then. But unfortunately that penalty did cost him, as I said it would, and he's now dropped back behind Pablo. But is he going to give up, or is he going to battle back? He is pushing hard. He's gone wide on the exit there, a bit of oversteer. Is he going to pick up another penalty on that exit? He did breach the curb, but was it enough? No, he's going to get away with that, so he can carry on back after Pablo, although Pablo is looking to pull away. But difference in tyre compounds, Pablo on the heavily worn softs there, with Vane on the medium tyres. Hoyland in 5th on the softs as well, looking heavily worn. Paris looking good on 4th, but it does look like Hoyland is now closing up again on Paris after that little mistake that he made. So is he going to have enough tyres before he has to dive into the pits to make a move, or is he going to have to just hold position? He's right up now there through that complex there. So is he going to make a move into turn 2? Paris goes defensive, Hoyland up the inside, and Paris goes wide. Hoyland backs out. I think there was a little nudge there. So Hoyland has backed out and let Paris keep that place. I think that was fair racing, really. He went for the move, it didn't quite come off, and only fair to give that place back to Paris and go again. As Pablo now into the pits to get off of those soft tyres. And he does look like he might end up, well, he's not quite going to end up lap, but it's going to be close, as Damien is now coming around on start-finish straight as Pablo is leaving the pits. But we'll stay with Hoyland here, because Hoyland is looking on a charge up against Paris. Although it does look like he's dropped off a little bit there, so is he going to be able to get that back? Those tyres looking really worse for wear now. So unfortunate. He hasn't been able to get that move done on the faster compound tyres. So Perez does look to be holding on to 4th until the first pit stop from these guys. Let's have a look, see what tyre compound Pablo has come out on. So Pablo out on the hard tyres. Can he get them working for him to get at least some pace to drag him back up into the competitive positions? As it looks like Damien is a couple of corners back from Pablo, so Pablo not quite at risk of being lapped as of yet. But obviously Damien will have to make his pit stop at some point in the near future. Sue in 2nd place. Some good consistent lap times there from Sue as he comes across the line to start lap 13. Good gap now for both of these guys right the way back. Sue still keeping Damien in his sights, even if he is dropping a little bit further back, just making sure Damien doesn't get too comfortable. But you can see there on the fuel usage that Sue has got nearly an 1/8 of a tank more, so that really is going to benefit Sue when it comes to the pit stops, because that's going to be quite a substantial amount of fuel. He's either going to be able to go a bit longer on these medium tyres, which could also benefit him, or he's going to just save the fuel load when he comes in, refueling time when he comes in, which is going to give him a couple of seconds at least, I would imagine, looking at that. Oh, we've got a spinner. Oh no, Hoyland. Oh, he was doing so well. So he's in 5th. He's dropped back a little bit from Paris. Under braking into turn 2, the hairpin. Oh, he's just got a bit too much on the accelerator. He stopped it and stopped him again, saved it from going all the way round. and he can get back on the road. But really unfortunate for Hoyland, having a great race up until there, but still plenty of this race to go. Those soft tyres are probably not helping him out when it comes to things like that. But yeah, so plenty of the race to go, and see if he can at least hold on to what would be a well-deserved 5th place in this race, or use his strategy to get himself back up there and get back past Perez, who's been battling up until this point. Vane in 6th, Pablo in 7th. So Pablo dropping quite a long way back now from the guys. He looks to be struggling on those hards, and he's going to start seeing blue flags. There you go, you can see the blue flags. The marshal's giving them a good wave. I don't think Damien's really close enough for Pablo to properly pull out the way yet, but he is getting to that point. Really frustrating for Pablo, because I think he's doing really well in the championship, and I think he's 2nd place in the championship at the minute. I'll go through those with you when we get the first round of pit stops out of the way, as we're now into that window with Hoyland now diving into the pits, giving up on those soft tyres and looking to move up, change onto a different compound. So he's now taking on fuel. He's going to potentially he might actually come out in front of Pablo here, even with the pit stop. So he's just coming up. It's going to be close. It is going to be close. Just coming up to the last 10% of fuel. No, he's not quite going to do it, but he's not going to be far off. And Pablo's stopped. So really unfortunate from Hoyland. It does look like he's yielded that position to Pablo, as now Pablo moves out of the way for Damien to go through and lap him. It looks like Hoyland's picked up a time penalty there. Yeah, unfortunately he's picked up that 3-second time penalty. Sue's going to be really raging here, because he's now got, because of where Hoyland's come out of the pits, he's got 2 cars to pass in the same time period as Damien had 1. So that's really going to affect his race a little bit. Let's see if Hoyland dives out of the way for Sue before he hits the penalty line. I don't necessarily think he needs to before the penalty line, especially not now, as it's just about to come up, and then Sue should sail past Hoyland out with dropping 3 seconds. Real shame for Hoyland. A couple of really rotten laps there, and he's dropped to the back of the grid. But again, there's still over 20 laps left of this race, so anything can and often does happen, as Damien now stretching his legs out in the lead with a bit of a bigger gap over Sue, who's now got to try and get past Pablo. As we have another pit lane venture, so we got Perez coming into the pits from 4th place on the grid, 4th place in this race. So I'll give you a quick rundown through the championship standings. Obviously we're missing Muhammad Ali. He's currently stuck in, I believe he's stuck in another country at the minute, struggling to get out and get to Austria. So he might just make a skip this race and make the next one. There's a lot of tyre squeal is heard there, but it doesn't look like we've got anybody pointing the wrong direction. No, everybody looking like they're still heading in the right direction. So Perez and Vane in the pit stops now, in the pit lane. So yeah, Damien leading the championship on 130 points, with Muhammad Ali for close behind really on 100 points. So would still be all to play for. There is obviously a drop round to factor in, where the guys will drop their lowest scoring round unless they obviously have missed a round. So Muhammad will benefit from missing this round and not lose any of his existing points. Pablo is in 3rd place in the championship, so Pablo going to retake 2nd spot. He's on 98 points at the minute, but he is going to be able to retake 2nd spot by virtue of the points he will gain in this race. Stu now coming up to pass Pablo, lap Pablo, and Pablo moves to the off the racing lines to the inside of the track and lets Stu through, no problem. Damien also into the pit. So Damien putting in not a full tank for Damien. Is he coming out on the hards? I would imagine so, to get rid of them. No, he's come out on the soft, so he's come out. He's short filled on the soft, so he's going to look to go long on the hards by the look of it. But going to look to put in a fast stint on the soft tyres, so you can expect to see that fastest lap drop and drop and drop as the race goes on. As Vane now has pitted and come out behind Hoyland. Hoyland on the mediums, Vane on the hards, Pablo on the hards, obviously just been lapped by Stu. Paris out on the hards as well. So all bar Damien at the moment going to be looking to use the soft tyres for their final stint. Stu going round for another lap on those medium tyres. This will be 18 laps on the medium tyres as we see Shadow diving into the pits. So yeah, while that's taking place, so Rufus, he's also up in the championship hunt in 4th place on 85 points. He's not been able to make it to the race either. I think he's suffering from an injury. Paris is in 5th place on 84 points. So Paris will jump Ruthless on this by virtue of being here and taking points from this race. And then Sue is in 6th on 71 points, having only taken part in 4 of the 7 races we've already had so far. So, and the other drivers were missing: Speed Demon, Tiddy Milk, down, and Caspian, all down at the bottom end of this championship table. And Sue now does come into the pits. So into the pits he comes. Oh, I hit the wrong button. And we'll see whether he does come out in front of Damien or whether he has performed a masterclass and got his stint done to perfection. So let's have a little look. Damien now coming towards the penultimate corner. Fuel just starting to go into Sue's car as Damien now comes around the final corner. I think Damien is going to come out in front of him. Those soft tyres really working well for him. And as I said, there goes the fastest lap already. And yeah, Damien does successfully and substantially clear Sue. As Sue now comes out 72% fuel, so, and he's out on the soft tyres as well. So Sue doing a similar strategy, but he's going to have less time to spend on the hard tyres. So when Damien does come in off these soft tyres, Sue is still going to be running the soft tyres, so that could still come into play. So watch this space as the strategy starts to get intriguing between these two competitors for the race win. Don't be fooled by the gap on the track, as well, things could change very quickly. Shadow is back in 3rd, Paris in 4th, and we are as you were, although Pablo has made his way through the pit stop phases from back of the grid in 7th up to 5th place. So good stuff from Pablo. Hoyland doing well to keep his head down and keep the progress going, with Vane there trying to get back up to the back end of him, but everything's sort of petering out as Damien now goes faster again on those soft tyres, as we see Sue coming round to start lap 20 as well. Just over the halfway point in this race now, and all looking good for these two guys for 1st and 2nd, but which way round will they finish? So as I said in the commentary for the League One guys, as we're coming towards the back end of the season, this being round 7 of 10 with 8 of 10 with 2 rounds left to go, which will be either a trip to Canada for the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve or a trip to Abu Dhabi for the Yas Marina circuit. We will find out on Monday morning which one of those we will be visiting. Hopefully we won't be affected by what's going on in the world at the moment. I know this is just a game, but it's always fun to comment on real life situations. Well, fun being an operative word, as obviously what is going on is not fun, but when it comes to the game, we can live out our real life dreams of being racing drivers and thinking about what would be if we were doing this for real. But yeah, so we thankfully do get to visit the Yas Marina circuit regardless of those struggles over in the Middle East, and it is an impressive track when we do eventually get there. Under the lights, I'd imagine the time of day will be around the sort of late afternoon, maybe into the nighttime hours, to get the real benefit of those the lighting on the grid there. It is an impressive circuit to race around in the dark hours. So, but yeah, so we got 2 rounds left. Those 2 being the tracks that we will be visiting. After that, we will be looking at what we do, whether we continue with another season of the GR2s with a little bit of a promotion relegation situation maybe, and going for another run. As you can see from what has been a depleted grid towards the end of this championship season, there will be spots and vacancies available. We may look to try a different formula for the next season. We shall see. We'll put it to a vote. But if you do find yourself looking for something to do on a Tuesday evening for your sim racing desires, please do drop your name, your PSN in the comments of this commentary video, and we can get in touch and try and get you on board. Alternatively, join the Facebook group Ultimate Racing League. Get your name down. Everything gets posted up either on there or in one of our various chats, which you can be added to, and then we can see if we can get you on track and battling with these guys. It'd be great to see some new faces. And if you're an existing driver within the Ultimate Racing League and you fancy having a go at the GR2s on a Tuesday night or whatever we may have in store for you going forward, then also please get in touch with either myself, Enzo Jack, or Unforgiven Alex, who is the owner and CEO of the Ultimate Racing League. As you can see, Damien are now lapping Vane, so Damien on a charge. So yeah, in the comments, drop your name, drop your PSN or what you're interested in, or jump across to Facebook and give us a shout. Let's get back to the racing then. So we got Damien in first. He's on the soft tyres. He's currently on lap 23 of this 38 lap race and looking good and strong there, with Sue in second place. So these 2 protagonists for the race victory, both on the soft tyre compounds, but Damien having come in, I think so Damien came in on lap 17. Hugh looks like it came in, let's say, lap 19-ish. The 2 laps younger tyres for Hugh. So Damien likely to come in 2 laps earlier. You can see the fuel really coming into play now, with Hugh really saving the fuel. Is that costing him lap time though? We shall see, but this could very well come back towards Hugh as the strategies unfold towards the latter part of this race. Shadow having a bit of a lonely race there. You can see a long way back to Paris. Just came round turn 1 as we were talking then, and Shadow just heading into the braking zone for turn 2 at the end of that long straight. So yep, Shadow looking good for a podium place here. Good stuff from Shadow, and Paris in 4th. Dropped a couple of places early on, including that place to Shadow, but he's got his head down, he's got his focus back, and he's holding on to 4th place. Again, having a bit of a lonely race. Pablo in 5th, was at the back of the grid, kept his focus after an early mistake, but he's up there in 5th place. Boylan still Still plucking away. He's in 6th. He's shown some really promising pace and form in this race and in the last few races. So really great to see him come on from strength to strength, really. And I look forward to seeing a few more races from him and seeing exactly where he can go. But he's looking at laps, getting the laps in and getting that experience in, and he's doing a cracking job at the moment of building his database of knowledge, and his abilities are clearly improving. And Vane there back in 7th place, having a bit of a nightmare is Vane. He's on that hard compound tyre, which is a bit of a nightmare around here, but he does look to be struggling, picking up a few penalties. But the important thing is he's still going, and we still have 7 drivers on the grid, with Pablo jumping into the pits to get off of those hard tyres. So Pablo going to be looking to do, so he's on to lap 24, so he's going to be looking to do 15 laps on these soft tyres. When he comes, no, the medium tyres, sorry, because he started on the softs, I believe. When he comes out, he'll be looking to do 15 laps on the mediums. Should be doable. The fuel will last that, as we saw in race 1, and as we've seen in here with Sue doing 18 full laps on the on 1 tank of fuel. So well possible. So we'll see where he comes out after the rest of the guys take their last stop of this race. Now Damien now then looking up ahead at Hoyland to lap Hoyland. He's had a bit of a rough lap that last time round. Those soft tyres, they were 50% worn on that front left at the moment, so they are going to start hurting his lap time. I don't think we'll be seeing that drop below that fastest lap at the moment as a result, but you never know. You never know. These guys can always pull something out of the hat. Stu now coming up behind Vane. It looks like he'll get that done in the penalty zone, with Vane serving that half-second time penalty. Is Vane going to stay out the way? Nope, Vane parks on the exit, on the apex, but nothing, not a problem for Stu. Goes round the outside and carries on with no real harm done. And Vane goes wide there and hits the red stuff, but he didn't gain any time, so the game has not given him a time penalty, which is good to see, because sometimes the penalties can be a bit cruel, really. So, as I said, Pablo out on those medium tyres, so going to the end on the mediums, we'll see how much pace he has in those tyres over the next few laps before the rest of the guys start coming in. Back up to the front with Damien as he comes round on lap 26. The tyre's dropping off for Damien there. He's struggling to get back into the 19s now with his lap times. Whether that's because he's coming up behind traffic or not, we don't really know. Those tyres are looking heavily worn, and he's probably got one more lap of fuel, looking at where that bar is. So this could be his last lap before he comes into the pits. Sue will be looking to go an extra 2 laps, and he has got a lot more fuel, so he will save time in the refueling section as well. But again, Sue, even with those slightly younger tyres, is struggling to get back down into the 19s right now. So it is wonder if it is slipping away from Sue a little bit at this stage, but we shall see. He may find some lap time to get himself back up. So we got Hoyland about to be lapped by Damien. I would hope Hoyland here will make this nice and easy for Damien, not hold him up too much. Probably along this little bit of a straight round here, maybe. Jump out of the way and allow Damien to get past. Hoyland looking to hold on to 5th place, so he doesn't want to get caught up really with racing somebody he's not actually racing against. Because he needs to try and keep Vane and Pablo at bay. Damien's dived into the pits though, so Damien into the pits on lap 20. at the end of lap 27. And Stu now goes through to take the lead of this race. Is he going to now get that pedal down and make some good time up to overcut him in the pit lane? Let's see. He's going to be wanting to get another 2 laps out of those tyres to match Damien, but he may well decide to come in and get onto the other compounder tyre that he's got left a bit earlier to make the most of that refueling time. Although he does only need to put enough fuel in to take him to the end of the race now, so whichever way he does it, he's still going to benefit massively. It just depends, has he got enough pace left in these soft tyres to get himself overcut over Damien. Bit of a tactical battle, this one, between the 2 Greek protagonists for this race win, as they've both run in similar strategies, but Stu going a lot longer on the first set of tyres, which I believe were the medium tyres that they started the race on. So Damien now out onto the hard tyres. This is where Stu will, hopefully for him anyway, pull that time back. So he is going round for another one, so that's one more lap, and it's a 20.7. So the hards do seem to be 21 minute lap tyres. So he is going to be now pulling time back on Damien, as well as the time he will pull back in the refueling element of his pit stop as well. So really going to be interesting to see exactly who's managed to do what with their pace, and who is going to come out in front of who at the when Stu does decide to come into the pits. He is going to have less laps on those hard tyres, remember. So all about this lap now as he comes round towards the middle part of the lap. As you can see, Shadow now diving into the pits. Those soft tyres looking pretty sorry for themselves. Probably could have got a few more laps out of them. But I think he's got 3rd place sewn up as Perez follows him into the pits on those hard tyres. Again with some fuel, so he could have gone longer, but he's looking to get off of them. As we go back up to see Stu, is Stu going to come into the pits at the end of this lap, or is he going to go again? He goes again. So Stu really stretching this soft tyre lap now. Let's see what lap time he does put in. So 20.4, so he's still got the pace in those soft tyres. This is going to be hurting Damien's advantage now, because Damien is also going to be coming up behind traffic as well. Damien 1.4 seconds off of his lap time, his best lap time so far, which is the fastest lap of this race. That puts him at 120.1 at the moment. He is still going to lose further time on this last sector on those hard tyres, so let's see what his lap time is when he comes across the line and see exactly how much time per lap he is currently losing. So 121.11 for Damien and a 120.4 for Stu. So 0.6 of a second, 0.7 of a second gained by Stu over that one lap. So the lap before would have had further gains, and the lack of fuel that he will need to put in is going to benefit him greatly greatly as well. Is he going to come in at the end of this lap? I think looking at that fuel level, he's going to have to. But he is only going to have to put in 7 laps of fuel. 8 laps of fuel, sorry. No, it is 7 laps of fuel. Oh, he's going again. He must have just enough fuel to go again. So that's a 120.3, a great lap really, considering the wear on those tyres. He's gone faster than the previous lap. So is that going to put even more time into Damien? Let's see what lap time Damien could come up with. He's already 1.3 seconds down on his best. That puts him at a 121 lap time, so sorry, a 120 lap time, and now he's gonna see, let's see how much time he loses in that 3rd sector compared to Stu's lap time, and he crosses the line with a 120.7, so he's lost another 4/10 to Stu now. So Stu will be coming in at the end of this lap. There is no way that fuel is going to last. So has Stu done enough? Has he done enough to get the lead from Damien? We shall see. as Vane now into the pits. This is where the battle is at. There's no on-track battles, but this is a strategy battle now. And when they come out, when Stu comes out, is he going to be close enough to battle with Damien for the lead? Is he going to have a good lead on Damien? Or is he going to have to catch up to Damien and try and put the move on him? Right, he's now into the pits. Nails the pit entry. No issues there from Stu. So it's going to be all down to his pit crew and what they can do. How much fuel is he going to have? As Damien now coming through the middle part of this lap. Put my teeth back in. Hoyland now into the pits on the medium tyres as well. So here we go then, as he comes down towards the penultimate corner. Fuel still not going into Stu's car, and now it is. So Damien comes around the penultimate corner onto the final corner. Fuel going into Stu's car. Where is Stu going to come out? Damien now coming across the start-finish line to start the 32nd lap of this 38-lap race. Stu still putting fuel in. He's now not. Where is he going to come out? It looks like Damien's got it done, but how much has he got? Where is Stu? So Stu is there. Oh, he's not quite done it, and he's also got to clear Pablo. So it looks like it wasn't quite enough for Stu there to get the jump on Damien. He is going to have to warm up these tyres. He also has enough fuel there to really push it. He gets Pablo done nice and early. So it is now a straight battle to the end between these two. Can Stu find that lap time to put the pressure on? And while we're at it, we got Pablo and Hoyland battling for 5th and 6th. They've both just been lapped by virtue of the pit stops. Hoyland losing out slightly. He is on the slower compound tyre as well. Pablo in 5th on the mediums. As everybody's sort of now come together a little bit in the middle part of the race, but Shadow really just having a Sunday drive out there in 3rd place. He's under no pressure from Perez from behind, and Perez under no pressure from Pablo. So looks like the battle is between Pablo and Hoyland now for 5th and 6th, and Damien and Stu. See what Stu can do to pull that gap back on Damien. It does look like he's left himself too much to do. He gave it a good shot. He tried to extend his stint. Well, he did extend his stint. He tried to make it work. But unfortunately, the difference in lap times wasn't enough to... and it looks like because Damien has managed to find some serious pace on those hard tyres, doing a 20.7, 20.9 and 20.7, that really did fight off the challenge from Stu towards that pit stop moment, and Stu has not been able to get that done. Really unlucky, but a good effort, I think we can definitely say. And it does look like he is going to have to settle for 2nd place in this race, as does Pablo and Hoyland. So it looks like Hoyland is going to have to settle for 6th place. He's done well this race. As I said, he really has done well. He's kept battling with these guys and kept in the mix with them, which is a testament to how far he's come. And it's great to see him getting what will be what is looking like a definite 6th place finish. As Vane, every time we go to Vane, he's got a half-second time penalty. He's really struggled with the track limits and, well, with this track in general, I think. He's on the soft tyres, but he's not really finding any pace at the moment. And it does look like he's just going to bring that home for a 7th place finish. Yeah, Stu not close enough. Damien putting in a 20.5, so faster again on those hard tyres, but Stu putting in a 20.3. So Stu is finding some time, but I think it's going to be too little too late, unless of course Damien makes a mistake, in which case Stu is there ready to pounce. So that does look to be the only way Damien is going to relinquish the lead of this race. It's all sort of petered out a little bit now. We've got no real prospects of any close battles coming towards the end of this 38 lap race. A 20.6 there for Damien, a cracking lap, but a 20.0 for Stu. So could this be on? Stu has taken 6/10 out of Damien's lead in that one lap, and there's still 4 laps to go. I don't think he's close enough to really threaten that lead, but he is giving it a good go. Damien gets a little twitch on the exit, Stu gets a good exit. They do look a little bit closer, whether that could just be an optical illusion because of the exit speeds there. We'll have to see as they come around this lap to finish up what sort of lap time difference there is. It does look a little bit closer, so we shall see. Damien is second down on his best. That puts him at a 1:19.7. Didn't quite catch where Stu is with regards to his lap time. Then let's have a little look as they come around the penultimate 2 corners. The penultimate corner, even. Stu looking like he's much closer. So Damien crosses the line with a 1:20.6. Stu crosses the line with a 1:19.7 for Stu. This is on. This is on. Nearly a second taken out of Damien in that lap. So we've got a 3-lap shootout now. Can Stu do it across these 3 laps and put the pressure on Damien to take the lead of this race and take the victory? Damien is really going to have to dig deep now to find the time here. Stu really getting these hard tyres up to temperature, and we're gonna stay with this. There's nothing else going on in this race at the moment worth watching really, so we'll stick with this and see what Stu can do. As you can see there, he's much closer. It may well still be too much to ask, but this is going to be an interesting battle towards the end, so Damien going to have to really dig deep. Let's see what his sector time is as he comes around to complete sector 2. So just this left-hander through to the right. There he is, so he's a second down. That's a 1:19.7. Didn't catch what Stu's sector time was, but we know that that's a 1:19.7 so far if he loses no time in the final sector. So what is Damien going to do across the line? So Damien comes across the line with a 1:20.4, a 1:20.0, so another half a second gone out of Damien's lead here. 2 laps to go. I think it is going to be too much too late, but he's giving it a damn good go. As Stu goes purple on the hard tyres. He is a man on a mission here. Purple in sector 1 on the hard compound tyres after Damien put that fastest lap of the race in on soft compound tyres. Stu wants this race win as they come through to the halfway section of this penultimate lap of this race, and you can see how much closer Stu is. Stu has got these hard tyres right up to temperature. He's making them work for it, and he is making Damien work for this. So Damien comes through, so he's still a second down on his personal best, and that is pretty much where he's been. So I'd expect to see a 1:20.3 from Damien. What will we see from Stu as they come through to start the final lap of this race? Around the penultimate corner, and then round the final corner, Stu does go wide. I hope he hasn't picked up a penalty, because that will ruin everything for him. As Damien now crosses the line with a 1:20.2, 1:19.8, but Stu has picked up a half-second time penalty. He's taken another 4/10 out of Damien in that lap. This was on, but Stu got wide, and he's picked up that half-second, and that has robbed us from a grandstand finish for the end of this race. Stu may well still get past him, but is he going to get past him and then pull out that penalty to keep that race win? Oh, the oversteer there, he's pushing so hard, but I think that is the end of his challenge. Absolutely gutting. He was absolutely on fire chasing down Damien there, and this was a great watch to the end of the race. He really did give it everything he had, and unfortunately he just wasn't quite enough. And Damien, he's going to be breathing a big sigh of relief now as he comes round towards the penalty section. And you will see Sue drop back from behind him, giving him a free pass to take the checkered flag as he comes down towards the penultimate turn. Round he comes into the final turn of this race, and to take the checkered flag, Damien with the checkered flag. Great stuff from Damien. Really unfortunate for Sue as he crosses the line for second place. Great stuff from those guys, and really good to watch despite the rest of the race being a bit of a neutral affair, as Shadow now comes round. He's not even near the final corner yet. Those two guys were in a class of their own, and Sue, well, what can we say? Purple in that first sector on that lap, and he was absolutely motoring as Hoyland does secure. Hoyland secures. Let's go back. I don't know where that's happened, but Hoyland has got fifth from Pablo at some point. We were obviously following that battle. Well, and we've missed that pass, but Hoyland has done well, and Hoyland coming across the line to take fifth place, a lap down, but he takes fifth place. Great stuff from Hoyland. Really good to see him get a real good finishing position there. And Pablo now comes across the line to take sixth, and a good boost of points considering the absentees in the championship. And then seventh goes to Vane, also a lap down. And we go back over to see MST Shadow come around the penultimate bend to come towards the end of this lap with Paris not that far behind, but far enough that Shadow doesn't need to worry about it as he comes across, take his first, I think it's his first podium since joining the championship. Great stuff from Shadow. And then we have Paris coming across the line to finish in fourth place. And wow, what can I say? I have to say a massive thank you for Sue to giving us that absolute boost there of entertainment. Really great to see, really good stuff. And I'm just gutted for him that he couldn't at least have that wheel-to-wheel battle towards the end of that race due to that penalty. But we have to say thank you to all competitors. I've actually got a little bit of time to thank everybody for listening now, and well, we look forward to coming back next week at either Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve in Canada in Montreal, or the Yas Marina Grand Prix circuit in Abu Dhabi. So we shall see you then. Thank you for watching. Catch you next time.